Life after death. Why mummies? Ancient Egyptians believed in life after death. They envisioned a world beyond our own, a place where the soul would continue to exist and thrive. They thought death was a doorway to another world. This belief was deeply ingrained in their culture and influenced many aspects of their daily lives. This afterlife was very important to them. They spent a great deal of time and resources preparing for it, ensuring that they would be well received in the next world. To live well in the afterlife, the body needed to be preserved. They believed that the soul needed a physical form to inhabit in the afterlife. This is why they made mummies. The process of mummification was a sacred ritual designed to protect and preserve the body for eternity. Mummies were specially treated bodies. They were carefully embalmed and wrapped in linen to ensure they would remain intact for the journey to the afterlife. The process was long and complex. It involved removing internal organs, drying the body with natron, and wrapping it in layers of linen. It took about 70 days to make a mummy. This meticulous process ensured that the body would be preserved for thousands of years. Only wealthy and important people were mummified. Pharaohs, nobles, and high-ranking officials were given this special treatment, reflecting their status and importance in society. Preparing the body, the first steps. First, the body was taken to a special place called Ibu, which was a purification tent. This was a sacred space where the initial steps of mummification took place. Here, priests washed the body with water from the Nile River. This ritual cleansing was essential to purify the body and prepare it for the journey to the afterlife. Next, they removed the organs. This was done to prevent decay and to ensure the body remained intact for eternity. The lungs, liver, stomach, and intestines were taken out and placed in special containers known as canopic jars. They believed these organs would decay quickly, and thus they needed to be stored separately to protect the body. The heart, however, was left in place. Ancient Egyptians considered the heart to be the seat of intelligence and emotion. Egyptians thought it was the center of intelligence and the key to the afterlife, as it would be weighed against the feather of Ma'at. The brain was removed through the nose using a hooked instrument. This was a delicate process, as the brain was not considered important for the afterlife. The body was then covered and stuffed with natron, a type of natural salt. This substance was crucial for drying out the body and preventing decomposition. Natron is a natural salt found in the desert, and it played a vital role in the mummification process, ensuring the body was preserved for the afterlife. Drying with natron, a salty solution. Natron was very important for mummification. It's a drying agent, which means it absorbs moisture. This stopped the body from decaying. The body stayed covered in natron for 40 days. During this time, priests prayed and made offerings to the gods. After 40 days, the natron was removed. The body was now dry and shrunken, but it wouldn't rot. Section 4. Wrapping the mummy, linen and rituals. Now, the real wrapping began. The body was wrapped in layers of linen bandages. The bandages were soaked in resin. Resin is a sticky substance from trees. It helped to glue the bandages together and protect the body. Amulets, small charms for good luck, were placed between the layers. Priests chanted spells as they wrapped the mummy. Section 5. Burial and the afterlife. A final journey. Finally, the mummy was placed in a coffin. This was not just any coffin, but a beautifully decorated one, often adorned with intricate carvings and paintings that depicted scenes from the deceased's life and their journey to the afterlife. The coffin was designed to protect the body and ensure the soul's safe passage. Sometimes there were 2 or 3 coffins, one inside the other. These nested coffins provided additional layers of protection. The innermost coffin was usually the most elaborately decorated, often made of wood or even gold, while the outer coffins were sturdier, made to withstand the test of time. The mummy was then placed in a tomb. The tomb was meticulously prepared, often taking years to complete. It was a sacred space, designed to be the eternal resting place for the deceased. Tombs were like houses for the afterlife. They were built to resemble the homes of the living, complete with rooms and corridors. The walls were often covered with hieroglyphs and paintings that told the story of the deceased's life and their journey to the afterlife. They were filled with food, furniture, and treasures. These items were believed to be needed by the deceased in the afterlife. Food offerings ensured that the deceased would not go hungry, while furniture and treasures provided comfort and status in the next world. A special ceremony called the opening of the mouth was performed. This ritual was crucial as it symbolically restored the deceased's senses and abilities. It allowed the mummy to eat, drink and speak in the afterlife, ensuring they could enjoy all the pleasures of the next world. This helped the mummy to eat, drink and speak in the afterlife. Priests performed the ceremony using special tools and recited incantations to invoke the god's blessings. The journey to the afterlife could now begin. The deceased's soul would embark on a perilous journey through the underworld, facing various challenges and trials. With the proper rituals and preparations, they hoped to reach the field of reeds, a paradise where they would live eternally in peace and happiness.